Hi everyone. So unfortunately, my mom forgot when we were editing our last video, the SD card in our GoPro.
Oops.
So now we're using her phone. So we are at Urasoe Castle site right here. This was a Castle Cusco built at the end of the 13th century and is considered to have been the base of the ruler who controlled Shazuzan, central part of Okinawa main island. The castle was explained in size and stature from the late 14th century, from the beginning of 15th century, and
The political.
base was moved to Shuri Castle in the 16th century. Shirako, the eldest son of King Shushin, who was the third king of second Shodaisen, lived in Ura's castle, and
Thereafter,
the Satsuma clan invaded in
1609. And then during the Battle of Okinawa, which is why we're super excited to be here, in 1945.
The hill where the castle was located was called Nadida Kochi, but it was used as a Japanese army
Fortification.
Okay, we're just gonna skip that. Fierce battles were fought, and the remaining stone castle walls were lost.
So here's the park map. Don't worry, we'll Google Translate. So let's get started. So here's the first of the tunnel network that we came to. So basically they were all connected so that if one entrance was destroyed, no one could come in the other. I don't know if you can see into the tunnel. And then what's left of the castle walls. And they came in down here. We're kind of thinking we're on Hacksaw Ridge point, but we don't know just yet. It overlooks the city, but of course during the war, the city wasn't there. This was all built afterwards, but it's absolutely crazy to look at how thick the brush and stuff, the bamboo, and like try to imagine coming up this hill is just insane. Yeah, I showed them the tunnel. Okay, we're headed up the hill. Everything in Okinawa is uphill. This is a restored castle wall. A lot of this stuff, it looks like, was restored after the Battle of Okinawa. But you just keep on up. You can see the other islands and the ocean up here.
You can see some kids playing.
We just passed a tomb, but I didn't film that because I'm not sure that I can. And I didn't really understand how to tell you what it was. I had to translate a lot of stuff. So we'll see.
I have no clue what this is.
Yeah, I don't know. So let's go see what this is. So it's the memorial site. No, Camden, no. It was to honor the people from Aichi Prefecture who were killed during the fiercest battle in Okinawa. It was moved in 1965. In 1994, it was moved to the Peace Memorial Park, which we're hoping to get to too.
So why can't we go up this?
Because it's a memorial, baby. You can't climb on stuff. Okay. I feel like we're getting closer. I really feel like this has to be the ridge. Is this it? Oh, this is so cool.
I'm already sweating.
Yeah, it's pretty hot. So this is it. This is Hacksaw Ridge. Okay. So this is where Desmond Dawson to pull people down. This is so crazy. And just to hear how peaceful it is up here now. I mean, look at this. It's straight down. No way. There's just no way. I mean, it's all grown up now, but... And to think they came in from the water like that seems like a really long way away to me. That's crazy. We can see some cave systems right here, but these sweet little ladies that have been talking to us this whole time in Japanese, we're getting there. They're over there looking and I don't want to crowd them right now. But man. Just another view from a bench they have. And then we'll head down to the caves in a second to look at those. So this was an excavation site in 1998 and they found the proof that it was actually paved and with lime, with stones, sorry, not lime. So I don't know if you can see it. So this site had stones. You can actually see still some of the stones down there. And it's believed from being the original Urasoe castle. And I really hope I'm saying that right. But also, we're right here still at Hacksaw, Desmond Point. So I guess a lot of this did get damaged with all the bombings and things like that from the war. But they came back in afterwards and started excavating it and found all this other stuff. It's pretty cool. So we've made it to the peace monument that we were hoping to see. I thought it was somewhere else, but it's actually here. So it's to the 32nd Regiment, 2nd Battalion, and then this is it here. And basically it's the 2nd Battalion of the Japanese 32nd Regiment for them. And this is basically where they would have started up. And you can see Jeff and Camden over here looking into a cave. And these are all monuments and shrines that they have here. And then you can see the stairs. Oh, there's other people coming up, but you can see the stairs. They are straight up right there. And I'll film a little bit more over here in just a second. I'll let those people get down for privacy. We'll go check out this cave. And obviously you can't go inside any of the caves because they've been deteriorating since the war. So you can't look in any of them, but you can walk up to most of them.
Yeah, I saw some water bottles in
Yeah, yucky stuff, yeah. Wow, I don't know if you can see in there. It's crazy. Okay, so here's a good inside look of what Hacksaw really looks like. This is what they were climbing up. And I'm breathing hard because we are climbing and climbing and climbing. Oh, look. Ooh. Can you imagine doing this? Yeah. So we ventured off the path just a little bit. We have to go back up to the ridge, but this is a road that was actually constructed in 1957. They excavated it in 2006 when they were restoring this area, and it was still here, and it's still here. So that road was built in 1957.
No, 1597.
Oh yeah, sorry, 1597. Oh my gosh, it was so old. I don't even know the years anymore. So we're gonna head back up the other side of the ridge, but this was, oh yeah, just right. He says this is the back of Hacksaw Ridge. So this would have been coming back down the other side, which I'm in the middle of my book, but I think the US already controlled the other side. It was trying to take the ridge, but please don't quote me on that because I've read so much since we've been here.
There's a monorail.
So,
There's a monorail.
oh yeah, they have a monorail here. But we can't ride it yet. The US is still kind of, we can't do any public transportation like that right now. So this was a stone monument that they did after the road was completed from the two castles, which we haven't went to the other castle yet. And they destroyed it in the Battle of Okinawa, so they reconstructed it here. Then overlooking the town. And then we're again gonna head back up the ridge. So we're headed down into one of the caves, just to show you like how far we are. There's the ridge. We probably walked, I don't know, 20, maybe 30 yards to the first cave where the Japanese would have been. That's just how much I guess they couldn't see. But they also said that after the war, the Japanese put concrete barriers and filled the caves with concrete so that the skeleton remains of the people who were killed inside the caves were actually enshrined. But then later they did pull those remains out and moved them to a shrine. This is surreal. I don't know if you can see in there. So now we're gonna descend actually down Hacksaw Ridge. So this is actually where they would have been climbing up. They were gracious to build us steps so that we don't have to climb, but can you imagine? I can't. I don't know how many times I've said this is crazy or I just can't imagine, but that's all I can say. I can't imagine doing it with a team cheering me on, much less while there's bullets coming at me. So here we are. This is actually one of the caves. So they blew off the top during the battle. But what I'm gonna have to research is I'm just curious if like they were climbing right over these caves and didn't know it. Which blows my mind. Or if it was done maybe before they actually climbed the ridge. This is actually the castle walls that were reconstructed afterwards. but that all is still intact and normal. So we're kind of almost to the bottom of Hacksaw to look up. The boys are leaving me. I think I'm boring them. Camden is definitely ready to go. He just doesn't understand. One day he'll thank us. Sorry, it's 12 o'clock, so the music's playing. But not military music, just they play music at the hours instead of bells and then music, I guess. But these are tombs that they semi-restored, semi-excavated post-war. And Jeff and I were just talking, we're kind of interested to find out, like, if all of this was enclosed by dirt during the war and then they excavated it afterwards. So then that would mean the soldiers were literally crawling over the tunnels. The Japanese would have heard them the whole time. But the other really cool thing about being here to me is there's 3 Japanese ladies that we started this course with, and we've ran into them a couple times, and they're so nice. There's one that speaks some English, so we talk back and forth, and she just moved here from Tokyo. Super nice. And to know that, you know, back in the war we were fighting each other, but now we're here looking at the same thing they're looking at with them in friendly conversation. It's mind-blowing. Okay, so we've made it to the semi-bottom of the ridge, but I don't want to say the bottom, and I'll show you why in a second, but all this here. And I don't want to say bottom because, I mean, if you look over here, it's still going down. It goes all the way down. So I imagine back then, I mean, they weren't having elevators up this part, so. And you can see it just keeps going down and down and down. Something else is I overheard another person talking, and they were talking about how the water line wasn't where it was today. So I want to research that too and see actually where the water line was compared to this.